Hello and welcome back to the Innsmouth Case with me, Bardon. Right, so we have joined the cult again, this time in a slightly different way than we did the first time. And we're going to see how that affects us being here in the church. The dark wooden church gates are imposing. The thick rivets of black metal hinges would withstand a whole army. You're unsure whether the church might be closed right now, but you still reach for the cold handle and push it down. You lean against the door, and to your surprise, it opens. As you step inside, you find yourself in a kind of grotto. Only a few candles are lit inside the hall. The slim windows are decorated with the kind of mosaics that you know from other churches too. Yet, something is wrong here. You think to yourself, where usually there are red, blue and yellow specks of light, here there's just a monotonous greenish-grey glow. Just as if seaweed had crystallized and formed abstract shapes. Rows of benches stretch out all the way to the pulpit, but many of them have been overturned or vandalized. The church is a ruin, a chilly, uninviting place, like most churches. Cool, blue daylight enters through a crack in the ceiling and, just below, a puddle is formed on the floor. You scrunch up your nose at the smell of decay in this place. You look around. You look around the hall, and towards the front you can see a few rows of benches that are still standing upright. You realize you are not alone. There's someone sitting on the bench just in front of the altar. You can only make out a half-bald head with white bushy hair sticking up at its sides. The man might be waiting for the next mass, or he might be a criminal, repenting all by himself. To the right of the altar is a small door, which presumably leads down into the crypt. There are paintings all around the walls. You look around. Let's see. Why not rest and pause for a moment? You spent worse Saturdays. As soon as you sit down on one of the benches, the wood underneath creaks and sags as if it was made of rubber. You're startled and stumble back into the centre aisle. It looks as if all the furnishings have been made unusable by years of damp. Damp which now seeping into your seat of your pants. You look around. Okay, very strange. From your years of admittedly declining church attendance, you're very well acquainted with the kinds of paintings usually displayed, the Passion of the Christ and all that. This congregation clearly believes in a very different kind of legend. The first picture shows sailboats leaving a harbour, presumably Innsmouth, and going off to the ocean. There are women stooped over and wailing children, and dead people? Yes, dead bodies appear to be piled up all around the harbour. Picture number 2 depicts the boats being exposed to gigantic waves during a horrendous storm. The third picture shows an idyllic island, miraculously untouched by harsh weather. The boats have landed there. In the fourth picture, it is night. 2 people are standing in front of a bonfire. Highly problematic depiction of one of the islanders is holding something red in their hands. A man in traditional mariner's clothes accepts the red thing. You look at the adjacent wall. There are more pictures over there, but you can already tell that those 2 have been vandalized. You also look at the other paintings. The pictures on the adjacent wall do not continue the morbid tale. Instead, here you find the kind of pictures that you had initially expected to see, the Stations of the Cross, that is usually displayed in the churches. Without exception, they have been vandalized, the canvases have been slit, and even the decorated frames have been destroyed, with the splintered wood strewn across the floor. You wonder who would do such a thing. Lawyers. Who knows? As you keep studying the pictures, you notice that there's method to the madness. Whoever was responsible for the vandalism was going after the biblical figures, and had scratched liar, losers, you're to blame, and other allegations next to them. Your mouth has gone more and more dry while you are looking at the pictures. Something is very wrong in this town. You walk backwards, almost automatically, until you bump into another row of benches. You feel like you've seen enough of these vandalized pictures and creepy Innsmouth Bible stories. You look around, walk up to the altar. A sense of morbid curiosity makes you walk over to the other end of the church to inspect the altar. You let out the involuntary wow as you walk up to the raised platform. The place looks like a crime scene. Chairs and shelves have been overturned and wine spilt over the steps. Seems like no one bothered to wipe it up. It is wine, isn't it? Of course. Yes, of course it's wine. You can barely make out the cross that once must have been hanging over the altar. It too has been destroyed. A fish sculpture has been put in its place. You're still surveying the spectacle scene in front of you when you hear the sound of someone smacking their lips. The old man is sitting in an antique wheelchair with his arms flopped on the armrests. You walk up to him. The smell of old leather mingles with the general odour of decay in the place. The man is thrashing his head from side to side. In the faint light you can see that his pupils are cloudy, presumably cataracts. He doesn't look at you directly and simply stares somewhere a few yards next to where you're standing. He starts talking with a scratchy voice.
Gary, my son, is that you?
Yeah, so we came here to try and pretend to be Gary, so we're going to do that. Yes, Pop? You answer, your voice disguised in a painfully deep baritone.
Damn it, Gary! What are you doing here, you idiot?
Your jaw drops. Idiot? Of all the lonely and unkept old people out there, you seem to have met the one who, without hesitation, assaults his children.
What are you doing here, Gary?
He growls at you more loudly. Oh, I want to see how you're doing. I'll kick your ass, Pa. I think last time we asked to see what he's... I think I'm going to tell him I'll kick his ass. I'll kick your ass, Pa. I'll kick your ass, Pa, you say in a chipper tone, and in a throaty laugh, which turns into a rather worryingly violent coughing fit. Even if your day hasn't been too successful so far, at least you've entertained this old man. If only all your missions were that easy. The dry and spindly hands of the man stretch along the armrests.
Stop talking garbage, dumbass, and let me know whether everything has been prepared.
No, but we're getting there. No, but we're getting there, you reassure the old man. Is all you get as a response.
This is your big moment. Don't ruin it.
Any advice, Pa?
They need to learn to respect you. Don't even think about telling them what you wasted the last few years of your life on.
What have I done wrong, you ask, eager to find out more about this dysfunctional family.
You know exactly what,
the old man screams and digs his claws into the armrest. He comes alive with the very particular spark that parents get when they scream at their children.
Graphic design, what a joke. Don't you dare tell people I told everyone you did coastal research at uni.
This conversation resembles more and more what you and your actual family talk about. Okay, Pa, you respond automatically. The old man finally seems pacified. Weakened by his tantrum, he's now slumped back into the wheelchair and smiles peacefully. He's breathing heavily. I'm worried if we sneak off that... See, I really want to get into the crypt in the church, and I don't know how you actually do that, but I feel like it's something to do with him as the key. But I don't know whether sneak off means sneak off and now, oh, you are leaving the church, even though you didn't realize that, but you are. So I'm going to go with anything else. Anything else? The old man knows more than he lets on. You're certain of that. Anything else, you ask?
Once the human sacrifice is in position, nothing can go wrong. Just let their blood flow into the water stream and everything should basically work itself.
Damn it. His eyes are now boring into your forehead.
You've watched me do this your whole life. You'll manage, Gary.
Good thing the man is half blind, so he's unable to see how the colour is completely draining from your face. Did he just talk about human sacrifice? The old man pursed his lips. He's probably just trying to provoke you.
I've gotta go, Pa.
You try to sound relaxed, but not as if you're about to have a nervous breakdown. What is this old guy on about? You made a sad decision that you don't want anything to do with him, and so you rush over to the door.
Yes, get your lazy ass into gear. Your liberal fart school has turned you into a right sissy.
Liberal farts? You slip back out through a small crack in the gate. An icy wind whips your face, but you still find it warmer than inside the church. You lean back onto the wall of the old church and heave a sigh. You're not sure exactly why you left, but you are glad that you did. You go... I want to go back to the town, not to any of those, but for now, I think we're going to end that one there. So, yeah, so a couple of things I'm interested in is I want to next time see, can I get back to the town? Because I want to run into those people. Then I also want to try and figure out how the hell do you get into the crypt? That's one for a future one, but yeah, I want to figure that out. But that is the end of this one. Hope you've enjoyed. Hope you're keeping safe out there, and hope to see you next time. Goodbye. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, maybe consider hitting the subscribe button there on the right, or checking out some other videos here on the left, or perhaps you might even share with some friends.